second grade social studiers, I didn't see you there at first. I was just cleaning up my teaching area, making sure everything was so nice and clean for you before you got here. Vacuuming, it's one of the responsibilities that I have here in my apartment. And wait, this is perfect. We're talking about responsibility this week. Wow. Oh, second grade social studiers. Let me back up a minute. Welcome. I'm Miss Haverstick, and you know that we're talking about responsibility this week. Yesterday, we made a recipe for responsibility. Remember, we mixed in things like honesty, fairness, courage, helpfulness, and kindness. Those are all things that when we mix them together and use them to take care of ourselves and to take care of others, we are being responsible. Sometimes responsibility is about doing things we have to do. It means following the rules and obeying laws. Those are things that we must do. And when we do them, we're being really responsible people. But responsibility is bigger than just following rules. Responsibility is about doing things that we can control to make the world a better place. We have the responsibility to spread kindness and fairness and to take care of ourselves and others. So, sometimes there are responsibilities like vacuuming. That's something that I'm responsible for here in my apartment. I have to do it. Well, I guess I don't have to vacuum. I could just let everything get kind of dirty. Same thing with my laundry. I'm doing laundry right now. That's another one of my responsibilities. But I wouldn't have to do laundry. I would just kind of have stinky clothes. So these are responsibilities that I have, and when I do them, I have to take care of the space that I live in. I have the power to do that, to take care of things when I'm responsible. Are there responsibilities that you have in your home? What about the adults in your house? Do they have responsibilities too? I don't know about you, but I have so many ideas running through my head right now. I'm going to write them up on my whiteboard so we can talk more about what responsibility at home looks like. Let's see. First, let's talk about the adults in our house. What are they responsible for? So, responsibility. Being responsible has to do with things that we have to do and things that we can and should do. Things like vacuuming. Just talked about that one. Maybe doing dishes. Oh, I know. Adults, they help us have food every night. Maybe they do that by cooking or picking up food from a restaurant. Food. Oh, grocery shopping. That's a big adult responsibility. Oh my goodness. Oh, the biggest one? Adults are responsible for keeping us safe. They help us make sure that we have a place to live, people to watch over us, make sure that we don't get into any sort of trouble. So adults are responsible for safety. And so many other things. But second grade social studies, I really want to talk about what are you responsible for at home? Take a second to think about it while I set up our whiteboard. What are ways that you can be responsible in your home? Remember, responsibility is all about caring about things like fairness, courage, always being honest, spreading kindness, being helpful. What are things that you can do, that you can have responsibility for in your house? I know, you could listen the first time an adult asks you to do something. Listening takes a lot of responsibility. Let's write listening down. What if you showed responsibility by being helpful with doing the dishes? You could help with all of the chores around the house. That's a super responsible thing to do. How about cleaning up your toys? That's a responsibility you have at home. Can you think of other responsibilities that you have at home? Maybe some bigger things like having courage when you see something happen and you have to tell an adult. That could take a lot of courage. Or, I know, being really patient with one of your younger brothers or sisters or cousins or even a friend. Having patience takes a lot of responsibility. And a really big one is honesty. At home, it's so important to tell the truth. These are all things that you get to be responsible for. Remember that responsibility is all about taking care of ourselves and taking care of other people. There are things that we have to do, like listening to the rules and obeying laws. We have to do these things. But with responsibility, we can also do bigger things, like showing kindness, having courage, helping our family, helping with chores, listening the first time, telling the truth. These are things that are so important because they make the places that we live to be the best kinds of places to live. When we're responsible, we take care of ourselves and we take care of our community. Wow. Second grade social studies, it makes me so happy to think about making this recipe of responsibility together and seeing how it plays out at home. And I wonder, are there responsibilities at school? And in the community at large? You know, I bet there are. There are so many ways that we can be responsible, taking care of ourselves and taking care of others to make our whole community a beautiful place to live. Maybe tomorrow we can look more at what responsibility at school looks like. For today, let's just focus on responsibility at home. Be thinking, what is a way that you can be responsible today? Maybe it's getting your homework done right away, or being a little extra kind and lending a helping hand to your aunts or uncles, parents and grandparents. There are so many ways that you can be responsible. I can't wait to hear your stories about responsibility and to see the awesome work that you can do on Google Classroom right now. You're going to see that on Google Classroom, you have a couple of different options for being responsible. You can do something that shows kindness and courage and helpfulness and fairness, or you could do something that doesn't show those things. Use your thinking brain and think about all the things we talked about with our recipe for responsibility. Circle the option that shows your responsibility at home. I can't wait to see what you come up with, and I can't wait to talk more about responsibility later this week. Have fun second grade social studiers.